the discussion we had in 2019 with the bushfires going on around, you were saying largely that with the warm going further south in the oceans, that actually the cutoff flows were moving as well, and therefore we were getting less southerly busters. Is that the case now still?
A few years ago, we did talk about how it appeared as if the cold fronts and the low pressures were moving across further to the south, and that has continued to be the case. And so those cold fronts and those lows are what bring the wet weather to the winters in the south part of Australia. And we are seeing drier conditions and warmer conditions. So that has continued. And interestingly, this is tracked in Australia by a thing called the SAM. Everyone's now familiar with El Nino and La Nino. We have a thing called SAM, which is the Southern Annular Mode. And that figure is a plus, minus, or neutral. And when it's positive, it means that those systems have moved further to the south. Now, right. and this changes on a 7 to 10 day basis. So it's quite different to El Nino and La Nina. Yeah. And at the moment, it's in a negative phase, which we're seeing the westerlies and the strong winds come through at the moment. But that is forecast to change in the lead up to the Hobart. So I'll be watching that number just out of interest, as well as the forecasting. So yes, it's continued. The climate is getting warmer. There's no question. It's getting drier in the southern parts of Australia. The other interesting thing that's happening is the East Australian current is getting stronger with the warm water. So what that means is that whilst the chance of an East Coast low is lower because of what I just said before, when they do turn up, because of all the heat around and the warmer water, they're often more intense. And that's the other reason why we're having more intense thunderstorms and rain events, because of the heating in the atmosphere and in the ocean.
Right.
And one interesting sidebar to the East Australian current moving further south is that we're now seeing tropical fish in Tasmania. So they've recorded coral trout swimming around in Port Arthur, little wrasse. They're now catching striped marlin off Tasmania. Mahi-mahi are being seen off Tasmania. Manta rays. So, you know, anyone who tells you that the climate is not changing quite quickly is has got rocks in their head.
And for you, I should add, because we've not properly introduced you as a marine ecologist as well as a meteorologist and navigator, that's an extraordinary set of sequences. And
imagine going diving in Port Arthur and they're doing these surveys and they see a coral trout. I presume there's not too many of them. The other thing that's happening is the sea urchins are moving further south, and so then what you get is the two things that are not normally in the same place at the same time. So you've got the kelp forest, but then you've got an urchin that wasn't there before, and so now it's a predator on the kelp forest. So there's some unintended consequences of the warming conditions.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Will. Really appreciate that. We'll see how the physics models versus the AI pan out in the next few days, but all the best for your run on Scallywag. Yeah,
thanks very much. I'm quite looking forward to it, has to be said. It's been a few years away, and it is the 80th.
Yeah, true.
So the last one I did was 2021. So.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Well, I hope it all goes well, and we're interested to see how the models pan out at the end. We'll talk to you about that then, maybe.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Okay, cheers, Will. Thanks for that.
Cheers.